Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where in the world you are joining us from. We are happy to have you here on Bustin' Out, the Sunday show that goes right off the rails, talking the entire week in professional wrestling. We are the Brunch Busters. I am Bobby Munson, the man beside me, my partner in crime, Chris Parrish. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well, and buttons were my kryptonite today.
Hey, you got a lot of work done in a very short period of time there, my friend. Very impressed with what we were able to put together already here for the show in preparation for today.
Yeah, but I did the rookie mistake, and I didn't check the time of the video, and the video was at like the 52nd of the 52, and I was like, hey, let's take the loop off now before I hit the other one.
It's all good.
Rookie mistake.
It's all good. But you know what?
First thing you gotta do is take responsibility. So, people, if you want to make fun of me, go right ahead.
None of us are perfect, that's for sure. And you know what? We got great people joining us here today. We're gonna have some fun on this Sunday. Hopefully, too many people aren't burnt out and tired out after a great night of professional wrestling for the WWE on Backlash yesterday. People like our good friend Basser69. Basser, my boy, ready to bust, boys. Good day. Sorry. I had trouble reading that for a minute. That morning wake and bake sure did take a number out on me.
Wake and bake, eh? But I mean, obviously, Backlash is in the books.
Look at this. No, screw Backlash for a bit. Look at this. I like this. Yeah. Parrish, you suck. Right from Tom Collahue himself. Not great at making fun of people. I like. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to
You know
make
what,
fun of
Tom?
Parrish, but I like it.
All I'm gonna say is, so you're on that YouTube, make sure that you're giving that like, and that goes a long way to help us.
But in all seriousness, to anybody watching along, if you haven't done so already, head on over to Tom's channel. Check out Spoiler Warning, fantastic show. Our good friend Tom Collahue, support him and support everybody else here in the chat as well too. We're all a great community, and it's all about supporting one another. And speaking of support, we had such a great level of support last night when we were doing our show. Look at this, Brian Carter. Does Parrish have Papa Smoke's envy?
No, but I do have a Papa Smokes t-shirt. So in your face, Brian. No. But how are you doing, Brian? How's your Sunday morning treating you? Thank you for popping in.
Glad to see Brian out on a Sunday. One of the great people that follows us every Thursday night there for Ring Respect Radio and Fusion, a great MLW fan as well too. So glad to see you out here joining us on a Sunday. And we got Tom coming in. Cheers, guys. And yes, I 100% gave you like the second I dropped in, and I'm not actively boosting the chat rate. I love this. This is what we want. We love an active chat because an active chat makes our jobs a hell of a lot easier here each and every week on Bustin' Out. That's for sure, Parrish. I'm sure we got a lot to talk about. Again, we did our reviews last night, so we won't go too heavy into the review side of anything with Backlash. If you want to check out the rerun of that, you can head on over to the OLE YouTube channel or to the Twitch channel. But before anything, I just want to, congratulate Astrid for taking the reins last night to put on that awesome review show. One of the tightest knit, well put together review shows that we have done this far on our local establishment, in my opinion. It went very smoothly and a lot of great things coming out of it, a lot of positive feedback as well too, and thanks to everybody, including Heel Kevin with the big raid there as well too. Ed, how's it going, brother? Old Ed coming in. Hey, gentlemen, glad to see you. You know what, big shout out to Ed. He's got his show Marvel Talk coming in out for you guys later here today. So if you want to find out about what Ed thought of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 along with Andre, check that out later, I believe around 4 Eastern or sometime after 4 Eastern around then. But yes, a very active chat. And Barry Monkey coming in as well too. Hello, everyone. Happily post crap if it helps. Yeah, keep the crap flow coming. We love it. It makes things fun here on Busted Out. At 4 Eastern time. Okay,
it's going to be at 4 Eastern.
Sounds good. And I believe that if I'm not mistaken, right after Busted Out, you can also check out Bubba Duke and OMD are going to be doing a bit of gaming here this afternoon. You can check those two guys out, and they're going to be wrapped up there, Ed, before you guys go live at 4 o'clock Eastern time as well, too. So just a lot of activity going on the channel here. All the more reason to be checking out everything on OLE is for, it's a fun place to be.
Yeah, just to answer Brian there, if it wasn't really connected there and a pain in the to take down, I would. So maybe when we play a video, I'll do that. But as of right now, I'm not going to run the risk of that falling down right now. But
maybe people are new and haven't heard you explain. But what championship do you have there?
That is the now defunct CNWA Provincial Championship. What the CNWA was, the Canadian National Wrestling Alliance. It was a collection of multiple independent wrestling companies throughout Canada that really was from one coast to another that came together under one banner for a short period of time. And this was kind of like their Intercontinental Championship, which I was their final champion and the only undefeated one, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good little Canadian tidbit right there.
Yeah. Which you can find in Vance Nevada's book, Controlled Chaos.
Yeah.
In stores now. There you go. But yeah, as I was going to say, you're totally right. Congrats to Astrid. And who would have thought a woman would know how to control three men on stream? I think, come on.
Put us in our place. Did an awesome job.
Yeah, did a really great job. And just from a San Juan, Puerto Rico experience, like she who is from has Puerto Rican descent in her. That was a huge and important show for her. So amazing time there and amazing opportunity for her, and very proud of her. But what a show! I mean, let's just quickly recap though. What a great show that was. Probably with the surprise of the night, how good Omos Seth Rollins was. I told you that if this was a good match, I think the pay-per-view is going to be great, because really there wasn't a hiccup in that. You can say what you want about what you thought the main event should have been and what it was, but at the very end, it was solid from start to finish. And I just really want to give a shout out to the San Juan fans, because holy crap, did they make that show amazing. And some of the standing ovations they gave that we saw on Twitter and on the socials afterwards, very respectful. And I would love to see WWE go back to Puerto Rico at some point.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And I love a crowd that it really respects and loves what they're there to do. And that's have a great time at a pro wrestling show. And that was it was seen throughout last night. Fantastic to watch in that sense. You know me, I like to be a little bit of a cynic sometimes with the things I don't like to watch. And I'll admit when something's not my cup of tea, but I have to play devil's advocate and give kudos to the WWE, because this may have been the best overall card that they have put together from top to bottom in forever. I could not name you the last time that I honestly felt like I didn't want to take a little bit of a breather and a break from what was going on there, because that's how well it was. Even the stuff that wasn't amazing was still solid, and you didn't necessarily want to turn away from it. This felt like a Triple H card. As much as some of the things recently have reeked a little bit of Vince's involvement, this felt like 100% Triple H last night. It felt like it was done with the love and attention that it needed to have done to tell the stories it needed to tell, and beautiful. What great. A plus for the WWE on this one, because it's just one of the best things I've seen them do in a long ass time.
Yeah, Bats are coming in saying Savio Vega showed up to support his niece Zelina. Was it me, or did Savio Vega come out to the Los Baricuas theme song? Because that, I think, popped me more, the theme song, than seeing Savio Vega, because that is a great theme song.
Hey, Savio looks good though, man. Savio looks good.
Oh yeah. But I mean, I had Feel So Numb, the Rob Zombie Edge theme, stuck in my head before we went on. Just hearing some of those nostalgic theme songs from the past is really cool. Pun intended, because we also saw Carlito, who WWE just signed that guy, man. He looks fantastic. And
I know.
He has some pep in that step, man. He can go, and so come on, get that guy a contract.
Yeah, I would love to see Carlito.
Talk about a guy that would do wonders in the NXT, helping out that new generation. Carlito would be a smack out of the park.
I mean, sales of apples went through the roof last night after everybody's on there. So, I mean, yeah, it's great. I loved it. I loved the use of putting Savio out there. I love the use of putting Carlito out there. This was a fantastic play by the WWE across the board. I said to you at one point too, while we were watching it, I said, wouldn't it be great if they just kind of went back to Backlash being what Backlash always was that was the more wrestling centric card that followed WrestleMania, where all the matches on there were something that you could enjoy to an extent, to a point where afterwards you're like, yeah, I liked that entire card. Well, they did it. That was the first time Backlash or any card has really done that in a long time for them, and I'm impressed. This is the best thing I've seen out of the WWE in a long time. And no world title match required to make it that way.
Well, it's weird, because WWE's in that recent. We're going to see a lot of and Barry Monkey says, right, a good and lively crowd always makes everything better. Percent, I can tell you from a personal experience, it's being a jump, like it makes you amazing. But switch topic that we have. But
oh, sorry.
Yeah, no. As we have that first topic right there, now that Backlash is in the books, hopes of the brand extension. What are your hopes of this brand extension, and what do you hope WWE does and doesn't do? Because, like you said, Backlash was a really positive card, and a really great card that followed WrestleMania. But now that the brand extension takes place and the rosters are now set as of, I think, May 8th, but so tomorrow, what are you hoping that WWE does with this, and what do you hope they do not do?
Well, I mean, I think we got it out of the way in one big lump sum when I crapped all over their new world championship a week ago. I really don't like that play, but I mean, okay, I have to get over it. That's the play they're making. So what do I hope they do now? I hope that they find a way to put the belt on the right person, like a Seth Rollins at this point, in order to boost some immediate prestige to a made-up championship. I think it's about the only way you can do anything for that in this particular situation. I almost immediately think that they would have been better off if they would have just, brought back the world championship and just changed the look of it at this point, because it would have, at least would have allowed it to have that prestige and background that it had and everything. But enough about the belts. I hope that this is an opportunity to start growing stars. They've been slowly doing it. I mean, Cody's been put in that kind of position, especially after last night. They got to start getting people up into that upper echelon, and they need to do it quickly, whether that be taking some of these recent signups and getting them over, capitalizing on people who've already got themselves over in the terms of like an LA Knight before you end up allowing this guy to be forgotten about because of the fact that you don't pay the proper attention to it. If the fans are clicking with it, if it's working, then do something with it. And that's the case with an LA Knight. They need to put him in some sort of picture where he's in front of the fans. That's exactly what is required with somebody like that. I hope they don't just immediately fall into the same old habit as well, too, where this is the brand extension. You can't go here and you can't go here. But after a couple of months, they just start easing up a little bit again. And it's like, well, we have a big card coming up, so this guy can go here for now, and this girl can go here. I don't like when they don't stick to their guns on some of this stuff, and I hope that they do it this time. Please, in order to make this thing work, stick to what you're doing and play it out.
Yeah, and I think treat it like it's real. I think one of my big things is treat it like it's real. But I don't have this guys jump back and forth kind of shows. I know that the championship will have matches on both Raw and SmackDown for the triple threats, and I think I can understand how stupid that kind of looks to be like, I thought you were a Raw exclusive title. Why do you have anything on SmackDown? I think it's just more of making sure that that whole process is cleared out. But at the same time, it is what it is. So let's just focus on what we're going to see, but have those. I really hope, and Tom, you're in the chat, and I remember you posting that the exclusive PLEs, like the for the brands, are potentially returning. I think that's a great idea. I think that's a really great idea and a really good start, because it gives you that understanding. Hopefully they go on their own schedules on the road, and it's almost like they are treated like separate brands. See more trades. I want to see more wheeling and dealing, as you said. Maybe an official trade deadline in the year for WWE, whereas maybe you go at Survivor Series and that's kind of like your deadline, and you can't make any moves until the following draft. I think the more we that consistency, the more I think fans will take it seriously. But I also hope if they're going to do anything with the titles, they go away from saying you're the Raw champion, you're the SmackDown champion. Just have something different named, because the one thing I hate is when, and we saw it again this year, Bianca Belair, women's champion, drafted SmackDown. SmackDown women's champion, Rhea Ripley, drafted to Raw. I don't like this. Here you go. Give me your title, I'll give you mine kind of thing. I think that's so cheesy. I think that's so stupid. And I really hope they just don't put themselves in those positions to kind of make those titles look like gimmicks and not something important, because they're doing a really good job of making championships look important right now.
Yeah, and that's just it. And they have to continue on that path, is to make the belts look like they mean something in that company, like they've done with Gunther, like they've done with Roman Reigns, like they've done with Bianca Belair. Those stories seem to be clicking. And, you know, for a world or a community that seems to believe that long-term booking is not something people are into, I tend to disagree. I've always thought long-term booking was very, very strong. And I think the proof is in the pudding here with how much people are getting behind these champions. And even if you despise said champion, you're watching because you want to see them lose. And that's a good thing to have as well, too. Keep in mind that a good heel champion makes you want to watch because you want them to lose. And you'll continue to do so in the process. And I think that's the one thing they've been doing excellent at as of late, is actually making the belts mean something, actually doing that kind of booking where you want to tune in to either see, you know, your hero overcome, you know, the big bads, or vice versa, that you want to see the big bad finally conquered by one of the heroes. So, do you think a free agent might win the World Heavyweight Championship? Yeah, maybe. It
all depends on, if you're asking if a free agent from the WWE term will do it, like say an Omos, Dolph Ziggler, Mustafa Ali, Johnny Gargano, that kind of free agent, or a free agent, say, who's a good free agent? Like EC3, kind of a free agent. No, I think the Raw champion, the World Heavyweight Champion, will be somebody on Raw. Like, I think it's somebody already drafted. I really do believe Seth Rollins will be that champion,
especially after last night.
Yeah. So I think the idea of that championship wants somebody who's there all the time to do it. Somebody who is looked at as like a star. I don't think Cody Rhodes will do it. I firmly believe Brock Lesnar will screw Cody Rhodes out of this title and continue that for at least another couple matches. And I think Seth Rollins is honestly the most logical choice.
No. To go over to Brian's question here. Sorry.
You do it.
Doing that. All right, I got this. All right. To answer your question, Brian, knowing your style of wrestling is very much more on par with what myself and Bob Spokes tend to like, I would say look up stuff featuring Gunther. Anything featuring Gunther is usually a good way to start when you're getting back into the WWE at this point, when that's the type of style. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte at WrestleMania was an absolute banger of a match as well too. Like there's some in there. You got to sift through the stuff that isn't normally your cup of tea to get to the good. But when you get to the good, they have got some really top notch stuff that they have been putting on as of late. But definitely for yourself, I say start with Gunther, watch Gunther's matchups, and I guarantee you at least that won't turn you away.
Yeah, and I think it's really weird because, yeah, they do seem like they're the only ones fighting. But I don't know, it's also weird because there's a believability that comes, I find, with Roman Reigns in his matches. Like, he does every little thing for a reason too. So, I mean, in defense, Ed, we're both doing it at the same time. It's just a matter of communication that we're not doing with each other. It's not his fault. It's both of ours' fault.
And I pushed that one.
Yeah. But But yeah,
that's right
I
here
understand
too.
his opinion because you don't want to see all these moves. You want to actually believe in all the things that they're doing, and
Yeah.
it's just really hard to get involved if you do like that style because I can understand because that's why I kind of get pushed away from watching AEW sometimes because there's a lack of stories going on and a lot of slowing it down, and that's kind of what I prefer.
And see, and on my level, I just try to filter through to what I like from any company. I mean, obviously, I'm a big supporter more so of the independent scene, MLW stuff like that. But when it comes to WWE, AEW, or anything that's up there in professional wrestling, there's obviously going to be stuff that isn't my cup of tea that is somebody else's, and vice versa. And that's okay. That's I'll sift through, I'll decide what I want to watch for my content and everything like that. And that's what I do. I get to the meat of the matter and find what I want to enjoy. And you know what? And Backlash last night was an enjoyable card. I I thoroughly enjoyed it. Ed Neo and Bianca last night. Yeah, what a way to start that card off. And like the energy was high, the fans were great from start to finish. I had no complaints with that card, even for having a 6-man tag and a match that had no rules in it. I really didn't have any complaints because I enjoyed myself even during those, especially with how much the fans were enjoying it as well too.
Yeah, and it's such a different vibe when you have a show like that. When not only are the matches good, but the crowd's reacting. When you get that perfect harmony between the performer and that audience, it just makes that show so much better. And like Josh says in the comments, that show was absolutely incredible because of that reason. And another one, it's like I don't know about you, but it always seems like these WWE shows that almost kind of give you that I just don't care, man. Like, why are they doing this kind of a show? It's almost like they're setting the bar so low that you don't expect it to be good, but you actually seem to enjoy that show better than you would have thought. And I think that's a good thing because as long as you're enjoying it, you can go back and watch it, or you can tell your friends, "Hey, this show was actually great. Let's actually maybe like sit down and watch it." But I mean, again, the talent level they have, there's almost no reason for them not to have consistent good shows.
Speaking of good shows, though, just want to take a moment here, Parrish. HCW Sports coming in, and your episode that you did there with HCW Sports is now available for everybody here at our local establishment. Everybody tuning in, there you go. That's the Spotify link if you guys want to go check out this particular podcast with Parrish on it. Let's talk about this for a minute. What was this all about here? How did it go, Parrish? What can you say about your interview?
I can say that it's something that you should definitely listen to when we don't have anything on OLE going on. No, and it was actually funny because I just texted him saying, "Oh, thanks. I'll post it out when it's time for me to like push what we have because that's what we do at the very end." The next thing,
and we
I
can
see you put it on. It was just really funny.
But yeah,
Josh popped in on the Raw Watch Along a few weeks back and responded to a few things I was saying because you know me. Sometimes I say a lot of things, but sometimes I say good things. Sometimes I do. In a blue moon, but I do. And then yeah, he just liked it, and then shoot the breeze for a few times, and then he's like, "Hey, do you want to come on and do our show or do my show?" And yeah, kind of just blossomed into that, and it was really cool because yeah, not only do you get a chance to kind of just socialize for a little bit, but get to know each other. And that was the nice part about it. So we have a very good range of topics that, that he had asked me. And yeah, go check it out. And there's the link. It's a moment with Joshua. So yeah.
That's fantastic. Can't wait to check that out. I don't know if it's on my end or if everyone's seen it, but Parrish, like, you seem to be in a thinking man's pose frozen on my screen. I don't know if that's the case for everybody in the chat right now, or if that's just me seeing that. So if anyone can let me know real quick, we can try to get that corrected. Yeah, Barry Monkey saying 2HC Sports Seth is great at helping others in the ring, and he even made Cody look halfway. And so grateful for him and fantastic opportunity. And yes, you are frozen, it seems. Perish, say it for everybody. We got Mel Wall joining in, hopping in the chat, saying, gentlemen, we're having a good time. But yes, you seem to be frozen in a very, very, like, it's a great pose. Let's not get me wrong.
Well, then, Bobby, why don't we play that quick thing from Rogue, and then we'll try to rectify this.
All right, that sounds good. While we get this rectified for you guys, we are going to give a shout out to our friends at Rogue Energy. We're going to play a quick commercial, and we will be right back in about 40 seconds, I believe. Let me just find this. We be hiding stuff. There it is. We'll be right back. Yeah, that's our friends over at rogueenergy.com. They are the alternative to the everyday average energy drinks you find in the store. If you're looking for a sugar-free, low-calorie, vegan-friendly, and packed full of flavor alternative, then rogueenergy.com is where you need to go, and use that promo code OLEPODS. It's going to get you 10% off your order. And look at what we did in the meantime. The cool pose is still down below on our screens here. It's a fantastic picture of you, Parrish. But welcome back to the video chat side of things.
Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Hi, guys. I move.
There we go. But yeah, we've been talking a little bit about Backlash and all that kind of stuff and things, and we got lots of stuff planned in the upcoming weeks. We're going to get to here in a short bit. But what's up for the next topic before we start telling people what kind of cool stuff we got going on?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and we have a lot of cool stuff going on. Trust me on that one. But another one I have, and this is something that I've been seeing a lot lately. And anybody in the chat, if you know more about this, let me know. But apparently, as we saw with the new World Heavyweight title being redesigned, apparently WWE is reportedly set for more title redesigns. As I've heard, both the tag titles and the women's titles are set for redesigns as well, and potentially name changes, probably to make them more brand exclusive. So your thoughts on this and the fact that we're just not done with the one? And I know you're not a big fan of the current design there. And also, by the way, another title redesign we might be getting could be an actual new title design for Roman Reigns, so he doesn't carry 2 titles. That's a potential. I don't know. These are rumors. They're not facts. So, but what are people hearing, and what are your thoughts if this is to be true?
First of all, just about every one of their belts needs a redesign from top to bottom. They're pretty terrible.
Except the Intercontinental.
Except the Intercontinental title. I've gotten used to it. As much as I love the old IC title belt design, and as tough as that one was for the first little bit, it works for me. It's different. It's not stupid looking, so I like that one. Plus it's on Gunther, so I can't complain anyway. And I definitely wouldn't complain to that man because I'd be afraid of getting slapped. But you know what? Start with the women's belts. I'm sorry, those things are still the same garbage thing. The same as Roman's belt. Like, I just hate that generic WWE logo on the different colored child straps that they have. It looks stupid. Yeah, it really was. Brian, oh man, I'm glad you like that title design, because there's something cool you're gonna get to find out about in the coming months here. Anyway, that aside, before I get too much of a slip of the tongue here this morning,
a shush.
A
shush, please.
But yeah. So, but like the women's titles definitely need the redesign, and so does Roman's right away. Get rid of that design immediately. You know, I'm not a big advocate for both shows having champions, the same world champions of any kind. I think that is such a bad play, and it just waters down the meaning of a world championship by having, oh, you're the champ of Monday, you're the champ of Friday. Like, just piss off with that. But yeah, overall, change the look of the belts. Don't call them the Raw and SmackDown belts. That's stupid as well, too. I hate that. Change that up immediately. The tag belts, why do we need 2 sets of tag belts? I'm sorry. There is not enough consistent tag teams to have 2 sets. This is another example of there should be 1 world tag team champions bounce between both shows, but that's not where we're getting. So that would be the last belts I'd redesign. I don't like them, but they're not like as bad as the women's belts and the ones that Roman's holding currently. I would attack those ones first, and then maybe start looking at the tag belts, and then maybe the US belt after that. That would be my choice anyway.
Yeah, and this is the thing. If I'm going to believe, and if my mindset has to be as a viewer that, Raw and SmackDown are going to be completely separate from each other, then I want you just to simplify things. Give me 1 champion and give me 1 set of tag champions and 1 women's champion. I hope the 2 champions that at the very least are going to be going back and forth are both sets of your men and women's tag champions. I understand that your world champion should also do that. I don't think they're going to go that route, and I also don't think Roman is going to be that active. I don't think he's going to be your house show guy anymore. Which I don't know about you, Bobby, but if that's the case, I almost more am inclined to be like, okay, then I get it. He's your attraction, but then now you're stepping in Brock Lesnar territory, and maybe it is best that you just end his streak now, and then you help put over someone who is there all the time and allow that guy to be your traveling champion on. But that's also maybe an old school way of looking at it.
It doesn't matter. It's the way it works, because your Brocks, your Romans and stuff, they become the attraction match. They don't need the title. Tell me how many times Andre the Giant was WWF champion. And you know why? Because he was the attraction match. He didn't need to be the traveling champion. That's not why people paid to see Andre the Giant. It wasn't to see him be the champion. I'm not saying he wasn't champion, but he wasn't champion for long runs. He wasn't champion consistently a whole bunch of times. Andre the Giant was an attraction match. And once guys reach the level of attraction match, that's the spot they should be put in. It doesn't need to be the championship involved with it in order for people to pay attention. First of all, though, Darnell, thank you for joining in again. You've been rocking and rolling, supporting the streams lately. Really appreciate you coming in. Thank you very much. Thank you, as always, to everybody who supports the channels. Give us a like, follow, subscribe as well, too. But yeah, that's my opinion. Back to you on that one, Barry. Sorry.
No, I get it. And like, trust me, one of the hardest things I'm gonna let people know, one of the hardest things for people, I think, Bobby, of your and I age, when we are growing up in a thing for wrestling, is to adapt our taste of what we like in pro wrestling when things are going, because you're hoping that things are still the way that you wish they were when you were a kid. Like, we both fell in love with wrestling around kind of this similar time, and it was really good. And then you had the Attitude Era, which might have been the most impactful era for WWE, and we were spoiled as fans because we had some of the best superstars in that time frame. Then wrestling takes this gigantic evolution in the sense of it's different now. 100% different. Things are changing. What a champion is different. But this is also what WWE is doing. It's not what everybody's doing. And I get it. WWE just they do everything bigger with more things. And I understand that they aren't the the Monday Night Raw of 1994 that I first started watching. They're the Monday Night Raw of 2023. It's a different ball game now. So I do think the days of having one world champion work 250 times, 300 times a year, that's over for WWE. And I understand, but the one thing I just wish that they would stop doing and start doing is just understand that if Roman Reigns or anybody else is not going to be your consistent guy, then he doesn't need to be the champion. These streaks, I think, get more tainted. These historic runs get a little tainted when it's one in a while. And I still remember the CM Punk promo that says that if Bruno Sammartino wrestled in my era or I wrestled in his, I'd be champion for 10 years or whatever, because he's not facing guys like Ryback and Hell in a Cell. And I get that references a little bit, like, who cares about Ryback? But, like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I just wish that whether it was Drew McIntyre at Clash of the Castle, Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber, Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, there were great stories to where you can make a decision on that. And I understand that maybe this 1,000 days is a big thing because it's right around the corner, but sometimes you don't need those big numbers to be cool.
Yeah. I agree. And I'll just say briefly with Barry Monkey here, I agree, but NXT needs to be a separate brand as the brand that is bringing people up. They're getting them ready for the other two shows. So I agree that they deserve to have separate champions across the board. They don't interfere with Raw and SmackDown and vice versa, unless they tend to bring somebody over there for a short run, which I can get that. First of all, good morning, Astrid. Thank you for stopping by, busting out. Good to see you again. Wonderful job again last night. Thank you for hosting that amazing show. We had a blast. And then Random Rick Review _RRR. I stopped watching during the horrible Well, I mean, that was the era when you couldn't see anything, but I came back for a bit in 2016 with the Women's Evolution and stuff. I mean, you know, Cena was great in my opinion. He did a lot of great things, but yeah, I can get it. I understand that there wasn't a whole lot of great going on all the time during that era and stuff like that too. So I understand. I respect that. It happens.
And yeah, and like I get it too. Like John Cena, like when we talked about that earlier comment, which I believe was Brian, he said he liked the Sheamus and the Gunther fighting and just that thing. John Cena, as believable as the guy is, when he hits you, it hurts because the guy's built like a brick house. Don't get me wrong. He's not the most believable professional wrestler. In fact, he's the next generation's Hulk Hogan. He really was in so many ways. But he was the perfect example of how wrestling was evolving into a different era, to the point where it was more about the entertainment than about necessarily the wrestling, which I get. There's a big niche crowd, and I'm one of them that prefers my technical wrestling. I'd still rather see Owen and Brett more than Cena and Batista. You know, like I'm not going to sit here and argue because I'm that guy too. But there is something beautiful about the entertainment aspect as well. And I think when they do it right in a mixture of ways, that's when you get some of the best professional wrestling. So, Mel, go kill it. Go kill it.
Appreciate you coming out and kick ass on those recordings. And
and I just want to go back and come back in a bit with the women's evolution and stuff. I also want to touch on what you're saying about the women's wrestling, because there was a time when you had your Trish and your Litas where it's like, oh my God, like these are some of the best stars in professional wrestling. And then they kind of had that dip back with the Divas division, only to kind of have your peaks and valleys with the likes of, I think, like the AJ Lees, the Pages, who kind of made you believe in the women's wrestling side, not the entertainment aspect of it with the Bellas or Alicia Foxes. And then now it's just such an amazing pool of talent there where Bayley and Io, I really thought from start to finish might have been the best pure wrestling match of the night last night. which was
you mean Bianca and Io though, right?
that's what I mean. Bianca and Io.
Although Bailey and Io would be a good match too.
Yeah, it's coming, I think. Yeah, no, thanks for that. But I thought just start to like bell to bell, they absolutely knocked it out of the park last night. And Rhea and Zelina, even though they were a shorter match and they weren't necessarily as tit for tat as the other one, it was still really good. And there was really great championship matches on the women's side, and which was amazing because there were 2 women title matches to the men's one, and they killed it. It just shows you a testament of the new generation of the women's wrestling now, and it's probably one of the best there is, and we're only at the forefront of what they can be.
See, when wrestling in general is presented the way it was last night, where it to a certain extent has some seriousness to it, to some extent has some story behind it, some oomph to it, people care, people want to know what happens. There was a lot more passion put into it last night, and it resembled a sports card. It resembled a wrestling card. It had a little bit of a blend of different types of styles. Yeah, maybe not everybody loves a hardcore match, but there was one. And there wasn't a bunch of people using it in every other match, which is what made the gimmick match work so damn well last night, is that they didn't overstuff the rest of the card with other gimmicks. The rest of the card was wrestling. And that's why last night's Premium Live event is going to be talked about for a while, and why people are loving it so damn much, because less is more. And that's what more wrestling promotions can realize sometimes, is that less is more. If you don't allow everybody to do the same thing in every match on your card, suddenly the one that does it has that much more impact when they pull it off.
Yeah, and it was almost like every match had something different. Nothing was repetitive, and I think that was the key and the ingredient to a great show. You had your David versus Goliath match. You had your competitive wrestling matches. You had your hometown hero, who's that sympathetic baby face, right? And then you had pretty much one of your best two of your best feuds coming almost to an end with Judgment Day and LWO, and then Bloodline, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Really, I do feel like you got closure with both of those, but at the same time, you had a little tidbit of, okay, maybe a potential implosion out of the Bloodline. So it left you wanting some more. And then you had your big names.
Rick, thank you so much for the subs. Really appreciate it. And thank you for stopping in as well, too.
I believe a sub does something, Bobby.
Oh, that's right. Thanks for the reminder. So anytime we get subs, whether it be on YouTube or Twitch, you get a spin of the money sign. Hold on, I haven't spun this thing for a while. I gotta get this going here. Hold on. There we go. Now she's spinning.
I'm not the only thing that's frozen today.
But we appreciate it, Rick. Thank you very much, and also to everybody who's recently subbed to YouTube or Twitch or followed along. We appreciate every single one of you. It's been a blessing. Things are on the rise here. It's great it's awesome because, like, just going into this, so many more people to chat with and talk to, interact with. That's what it's all about here. A lot of great things going on in our local establishment. The same thing. Anytime people are live on our local establishment, whether it be with wrestling content or content outside of wrestling, we got stuff about the paranormal. We've got stuff about horror movies, different films. We got Marvel talk later tonight. We have gaming streams. We like to have interaction with you, the viewers, because that's what community is all about. It's about chatting with friends. It's about getting to know you guys. So always interact with us, interact with each other in the chat, follow each other, do all that great stuff. It's all about building community and networking here, and we're all in support of that here on our local establishments channels as well. Absolutely love it. We need sound alerts for subs. Yeah, I don't know how to do that, but we should figure that out. So Astrid, you're smart.
You know what we do have, Bobby?
Teach me.
You know what we do have?
What do we have?
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Something important.
Look at that. It's like a double feature
We
breaking
got
news
back to
there.
back. I know we've announced Alex Kane already, but it is official that we have back to back guests now for everyone. So, first time we've announced back to back guests in the history of Busting Out. We've never done that before.
Pretty sure we have someone lined up for the week after that as well, too. But we'll get around to announcing that
Yeah,
soon enough. Yeah.
that's in the woodworks.
Yeah, we're all about the guests here on Bustin' Out.
Yeah.
Again, we love having people to talk to. And Astrid's working on it for her channel. You'll help. I really appreciate that, Astrid, and definitely something I want to learn how to do for our channels as well too. So once you figure it out, let's chat and get that all figured out. We'll get something cool going on because I think that would be great. The sound alerts for subs and all that kind of stuff. Like I love going to channels and it sounds like a friggin' party every time somebody follows or subs or anything of the sort.
But
this is bigger than Cody joining the WWE. Oh, very monkey. That's cynical, but awesome.
But as we stay on that, just because I know that Alex Kane obviously is the #1 contender for the MLW Championship, about to face Alex Hammerstone, and you were the one who kind of landed Bougie as the guest. Can you tell maybe the people who may not know a lot about both Bougie and Alex Kane a little bit more about them, just so they can get a little bit more familiar with our upcoming guests?
For sure. So again, Bougie is relatively new to me as well too. This is somebody who had reached out to Prairie Pro Wrestling actually to see about if he ever is in the area about getting him booked. It doesn't mean he is going to be booked on Prairie Pro Wrestling. It's just this does happen quite frequently. Wrestlers reaching out to offer up their themselves if they ever happen to be in the area, so that I'm not announcing anything of that sort. But it gave me the opportunity to start talking to him a little bit. So this guy, fairly young man at 25 years old, singles wrestler. He has only got a couple of years under his belt so far, but once I started talking to him, he was really excited to be on, not only be on our show for the sake of being on the show because he liked what he saw, but then he found out that we got Alex Kane the week after, and Bougie's actually been doing some work with Alex Kane and the Beaumaye Fight Club as of late. So he is very, very excited to be able to be the one that comes on a week before. He was ranked number 485 out of 500 wrestlers in the world for the PWI rankings. So again, this is a guy on the rise. Now, Alex Kane, the #1 contender for the MLW World Heavyweight Championship, who's going to be taking on Alexander Hammerstone and is going to be a real threat, is the leader of the Beaumaye Fight Club. This guy just recently won the Battle Riot 5 in very convincing fashion, with the finale being him actually tapping out Davey Boy Smith Jr. to win that opportunity. So Alex Hammerstone is going to have to be on the lookout because Alex Kane has got him in his sights and he's got his number coming up for when MLW finally goes to a live setting. Yes, they are going to be on Fight TV Plus starting with Saturday, July the 8th, where you're going to be able to check out Never Say Never, Alex Kane going for the World Heavyweight Championship against Alexander Hammerstone. Very excited about that, and very excited to have the leader of the Beaumaye Fight Club on Busted Out. I've interviewed Alex Kane once before with Papa Smokes for our show on a Thursday night. This guy is a ball of energy. He is such a delight to be on screen with. He is going to be so much fun. Bougie, I'm excited about as well, too, because what I have seen of this young man, I think that it's going to be that level of energy, that level of fun. I think that we're going to have back-to-back weeks of absolute fun-ass time right here on Busted Out because of these two guests.
Yeah, and what's actually really amazing is that these two men have yet to really hit their peak in professional wrestling. They're just on the rise. So getting a chance to not only talk to them while they're on that rise is really amazing, because you will find some of the most humble people that way in professional wrestling, and it's just such a great way to not only get to know them, but also to get to hear about, their story and how happy they are to be where they are. And I firmly believe Alex Kane will be the one to dethrone Hammerstone and become that new MLW champion. I'm predicting it right now. I don't think a lot of people are going to dispute that if they are aware of the product, but at the same time, I firmly believe that he is going to be the next champion, and I can't wait to see more of Bougie and get to know him as well. This is a great time and a great chance to get to know some of these guys before they become big stars like we will, because you know, like, man, when they're in the WWE or AEW, man, they're going to be a lot harder to get. So I'm glad that we're getting them now.
Well, exactly, because then, you know, because then once they make the transition to the big times, they might be inclined every once in a while to still talk to an old friend. So, you know, hopefully that's going to be the case there for us. You know, we got so much cool stuff here on Bustin' Out coming up. We said that there'll be another guest following them as well too. Like I would love it if we could have a guest here just about every weekend. It's so much fun having guests. So we're going to maybe see some more of the members of our local establishment joining as guests on various weeks as well too, because, you know, we love working with everybody here. We love working with people outside of here as well too. Brian's going to dispute it here a little bit. Let's go to this for a minute. I'm disputing it. Alex Kane can't carry the weight of being the champ. What about a Dark Side of the Ring episode? Examine Papa Smokes' relationship with LSC. Hey, you know what? I've been trying to get to the bottom of this partnership for quite some time. It's kind of pissing me off because Papa Smokes and I have known each other now for 5-6-ish years, and it is well documented about how much El Asesino hates my guts. This guy has smacked me around. He has talked a lot of smack about me. He has been someone who has wanted to get his hands. He almost got an attack in on me in the ring several years ago, and I barely escaped that encounter as it is. And all the while, this SOB is coming down to the ring all the time wearing a Papa Smokes t-shirt, never seems to have any issue with Papa Smokes at all. I don't understand where that partnership and relationship is coming from, but I think, Brian, we need to get you down here like a secret sleuth here that you could investigate this working relationship between Papa Smokes and El Asesino for me. I would absolutely love that. And we do love guests. Yes, we do. It's so much fun having guests on the show, being able to talk to them and find out more about people in different wakes of life. And now, Brian, after seeing Gold Kelly versus Sheik match, it is undeniable. I know there's a lot of shady business over there, but that was a good match we released this Saturday for the PPW Championship.
Yeah, I'm going to say this, Brian. If you're disputing that on May 21, come in the chat and you tell Alex Kane you're disputing the fact that he can't carry the weight of being a champion. Put your money where your mouth is.
Ooh.
Because I don't want to get I'm retired. I'm not getting my ass kicked on May 21. So you go right ahead. You go right ahead.
And he at one point told me if I overstep my boundaries, he'd take me to Suplex Island. And I'm not so sure that at 40 years old and my, you know, aging, crippling body, I really want to be taken to Suplex Island by the likes of Alex Kane. So.
Yeah, but you want to know where where I do want to go to there, Bobby?
Oh.
I want to go to all of these socials down below, whether it's our Twitter or Instagram at OLE Pause, or Twitch at Our Local Establishment, or YouTube at Our Local Establishment, or maybe that beautiful email we have, olepodcast@gmail.com, where you have a chance to check everything about what we have coming up, or, you know, getting a hold of us. And the reason why I like going there is because you get an opportunity to see what is on the docket tonight, and what we have on the docket tonight is entailed in this video.
do need to say, quick correction. I forgot to add one of the shows in there as well for this week. And I noticed when that played back as many times as I tried looking at that calendar and not forgetting, we do have that special episode of Love Your Health, the mental health awareness special that is going to be coming out both on Twitch and YouTube this coming Wednesday afternoon. So stay tuned for that as well too, you guys, because that is a big one coming out. And I also want to give a big shout out to some new faces that people are going to see or have seen popping up on the channel as well too. You see that the Boar's Nest now a regular show for us. That is a gaming program featuring Bubba Duke and OMD, who you can catch on the Raw Watch Along. You've seen Chris Best over on the Raw Watch Along as well too. I one of those things this morning, I wasn't at my best thinking, but I will fix the calendar up before we put it out again. And put it out on the socials as well too. So I will get that all fixed up. We do have a very busy week this week, but also I just wanted to say also welcome Lauren Goodnight as well too. She's going to be popping up on more shows and have some great stuff coming up here soon for you guys too. So a lot of new faces here at our local establishment, possibly more to come as well too. We'll see as the coming weeks go by. What is Wrestle Draft, Brian? That is a great question that I am going to throw back on over to the man beside me because he's part of
the other side there. But no, Wrestle Draft was a concept that when we were at Love Wrestling, we had done where we did a complete mock draft of everyone in the WWE. But now we have decided, and when I say we, I mean Ed Fraz and I have decided to turn it into a virtual, not virtual, but like an online WWE 2K23 where we're going to be playing the GM mode. And every week we kind of go weeks to weeks with the PLEs and stuff like that. And we kind of go head to head. So Wrestle Draft is now a show every Saturday at 1 p.m. where you can see Ed Fries and I battle each other on the WWE 2K23 GM mode, just to add a little bit more to the video game side of things here on our local establishment.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So we got some great new gaming streams again, like Boar's Nest. You guys got Wrestle Draft. I know that there's some more plans in place as well to see some more stream gaming here because, you know, we love our gaming communities as well too. And a lot of us here do a lot of little gaming on the side. So we figured we'd turn that into some fun for you guys on the channel. But again, we got a plethora of other things. Like you saw, we got, like I said, we've got the special Love Your Health, the mental health awareness special coming out this Wednesday. Myself, Bellball Collins, and Astro Pizarro on that one. And then again, we will be recording and then releasing this Friday, Killer Cuts Chapter 3, myself and Astro Pizarro there talking about all things horror movies. This time it's going to be a little sick. Just stay tuned for that one though.
Yeah. So one thing I do want to do, because I don't think we gave this man enough credit for the work that he did last night. I don't think he gets talked about a lot as it is. But someone who absolutely impressed me last night at Backlash was a local guy in from the Puerto Rico side. But I do think it's time we give a little bit of shout out to Damian Priest and an appreciation time, because for all the good things Seth Rollins does inside of a wrestling ring and how great he made Omos look in that match and love that, I thought Damian Priest did an exceptional job with Bad Bunny. And this isn't the first time he's done a great job with Bad Bunny, as he did tag with him years ago against John Morrison and The Miz. But it seems like Damian Priest has just found that next step and is absolutely killing it. He is one of the best mid-card heels and has absolutely done a remarkable job since being in the Judgment Day. And I just think it's enough time that we don't sleep on Damian Priest.
I've been saying that since the guy got there. I mean, Punishment Martinez, aka Damian Priest, looks like a star, conducts himself like a star. he's built like a star because he is a star and he handles himself extremely well inside a professional wrestling ring. As Barry Monkey say in WWE, obviously hold Priest in high regard as they trust him to protect Bad Bunny, and that's just it. He had a task to go out there and not make himself look like a chump while also putting over an opponent such as Bad Bunny for the publicity that it gave to the company, and he did it in great fashion. Damian Priest deserves to get that kind of level of push going forward after this. This is, in my opinion, a swan song. You did this for the company, for people of Puerto Rico, for all this kind of stuff. Now you deserve to be rewarded for all the good that you've been doing in the company. And now I know that it might not land well, but Damian Priest is someone that, you could arguably start putting into some sort of title picture, or should anyway. It's just, where do you land him at the moment? Which title picture? Because the world title run, unfortunately, I just can't see is on the cards based on what they've got going on currently. But Damian Priest deserves to be in the conversation for an Intercontinental title or a U.S. title, and to hold it for a good chunk of time with some great defenses.
I have an idea. What if Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins is your match at Night of Champions for the World Heavyweight title? And yes, Seth Rollins would be my pick to win that. But it's that kind of time where Damian Priest gets that rub to the point where then, yes, he didn't win the championship, but that puts him in a position where he's perceived to be in a different light by the crowd. That is when I would start Imperium versus Judgment Day. And yes, I would now pick Damian Priest as my pick to be the guy that dethrones Gunther after he breaks a Honky Tonk Man's record and becomes the next Intercontinental Champion. And I would think that's a great thing to have, because now you have Gunther in a position to become a World Heavyweight Champion.
Well, yeah, that's fair. And again, it puts Damian Priest in a great position as well, too, to have the accolade of beating the guy who held the title for that long as well. Whether it be by shady business or whatever the means, anyway, the win's a win in the record books, and Priest can go along and carry that. And he is ready to carry that. That's the thing. He's been ready for a long time. I've been disappointed sometimes with the way they've presented him, but I've never been disappointed with him because I am a Damian Priest fan. I like his work, and I think that last night just once and for all showed how amazing this guy is, and I hope that the world paid attention and that only good things happen for Damian Priest moving forward.
Yeah. And I just, not enough time, I think, when people talk about the state of WWE we do talk Judgment Day, but a lot of the time Rhea Ripley is just carrying that conversation because for obvious reasons. Absolute Hall of Famer in the making right now with Rhea Ripley. But Damian Priest has just been opening eyelids after opening eyelids after opening eyelids. And I think now might be the time to kind of just say, all right, let's see where you go next, because all he's doing is his job, then some. And I think that's definitely the right thing to say. Hey, we appreciate you as fans and as viewers of this beautiful product you have. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. And like Astrid saying that she's proud of his performance. And I think the world should be, because that's the kind of performance that shows how good professional wrestling can be, especially when making the crossover to the entertainment side and working with a celebrity. I made a reference last night to it being the Lawrence Taylor moment. And I'm not saying it in the vein that this match was like the LT Bam Bam Bigelow match at WrestleMania in the way it was presented. This match was like that in the way that a star handled working with a celebrity in the ring and made them look really good while telling a story that people gave two shits about. And it was awesome. It was done very beautifully, and I'm glad that it worked out the way it did.
Yeah, and what an amazing event. What an amazing representation done by the Puerto Rican talents of WWE. And a lot of not only pride, but a lot of joy, like a lot of good things to say about that. And just like I think what we said about Clash of the Castle and how that was such a huge success, and hopefully WWE does more, whether it's live events or PLEs out in that neck of the woods. We should now think of something very similar about Puerto Rico, because man, you just tapped into a market that absolutely loves what you do. And I think that's a great thing to have.
Yeah, it looks perfect. It sounds perfect. And I've said it before, and I know it was said in our comments earlier, a lively crowd can make or break, can make your event. And that's what it did. And I hope they go back to Puerto Rico. I hope they continue this experiment of trying different markets and different places around the world. I have zero problem with them going to these places, because I like the fact that they get to do a little bit more things culturally as well too. It's one thing to go to the same old arenas that they've been to over and over and over again, but that's why the product tends to get a little bit stale. When they can do these things, that makes it exciting, and I think that the fans make it exciting. It's just fantastic. Love every second of it. Astrid saying, give me a Mania and a Rumble, so I got another excuse to travel home. And I mean, and that's a perfect example. If they were to do something like that over there, and you'd be able to make that travel and go there and have that experience in your home setting as well too. Like, it's just a beautiful opportunity, and I hope that in any capacity you do get to go and experience that exact comment right there, like a Mania or Rumble back home. Being able to be around family and friends, like, just awesome. I love it.
With WrestleMania 40 being in Philly, and I've heard rumors that Nashville could be the host of WrestleMania 41, I would say put a SummerSlam in Puerto Rico. One of the most famous SummerSlams was the one in Wembley Stadium. And I think that was so iconic as a wrestling fan growing up, to the point where, imagine now if you had that in SummerSlam. Imagine if that's when, like, a Damian Priest becomes like a world champion. Think about how full circle that would be. Or, like, imagine it. Just imagine that moment, like, and how amazing it would be. We're talking about how he's, rising and doing some of the great stuff. What happens if the coup de grace to his story is winning the world title for the first time in Puerto Rico? How absolutely beautiful of a moment would that be?
Yeah, I can't see any harm in that being done at all too. And I think it would be the perfect setting to have that kind of experience. And after what I saw last night, do every show there, because the fans made that show exciting. And it seems like WWE wanted to put on the best show possible because of the kind of crowd they had. So if that's the case, if the crowds are going to be that excited and they're going to push WWE to be at their best, do this all the damn time, please.
And one thing I want to ask you, if it should be something you do all the damn time, or maybe it's just a thing in Puerto Rico. The last topic, the drone. In the beautiful phrase, should it stay or should it go? The drone shot we saw on not only SmackDown, but at Backlash. How cool was that?
I love the drone shot, personally. I'm a video guy, obviously. I like certain camera things that are done. I think the drone shot, in terms of like a sporting event in general, is a really cool touch. The shot that wraps around the arena, so you get a clear shot of the capacity crowd on hand. It looked fantastic. I love this. I think that this should be done, especially with any premium live event shows or anything like that. I don't think it necessarily needs to be done on a Raw or SmackDown, although if you got the kind of crowds to warrant it, it does look cool. I say keep the drone shot. 100% keep the drone shot. This was a nice touch. Whoever came up with that, kudos to you, because that's the best video shot WWE's come up with in a long time.
How funny would it be if we just find out that it was Vince McMahon's idea? As
crippled as Vince's brain is, he does every once in a while still have something in there. But, like, I mean, whatever. If it is, it is. But it's like, Yeah, whatever. You're just trying to throw this shit off the rails as usual.
Hey, it's what we do. But at the same time, I mean, at the end of the day, that was, again, like you said, one of the coolest things. It made the show look different from the beginning. Yeah, we always saw, like, in the graphics, we saw a drone, right? In those graphics at the before. But we never saw a real life drone go around. And it was just such a nice touch to make the intro look different. And when you have a crowd, not only the size of Puerto Rico, but as rambunctious as they were, what a beautiful way of just seeing that now. And it was just a great touch. And I hoped that at the very least, if it's not an everyday thing, you do it for all those big events. Because we need to see those people. We want to see that. And imagine if those people, like everyone had signs, and we're seeing all the signs like back in that Attitude days. Mm-hmm. Man, how cool of an atmosphere would that be?
Yeah. And again, as a person live in the stadium, it's another kind of like, yeah, this is an awesome moment, because you might be in an area of the arena that normally wouldn't get attention from any of the cameras, but you might get a brief shot of the drone shot, or at least be able to go back afterwards and you're explaining to your friends, yeah, I was there live. I'm right about here when the drone pans this way.
Yeah.
That's where my ass was sitting at this event.
Yeah, now one thing I know the drone didn't catch because it was more at ground level, but just a little thing that we saw. Bigfoot apparently resides in Puerto Rico and in San Juan. So very cool. Very cool to know that. So it's out. And he had a sign that says, I do exist. So
he did, right behind the announce table.
So who knew, right? Who knew that was going to be a thing? But yeah, Puerto Rico, man. The home of Bigfoot.
I don't blame Bigfoot. That looked beautiful. Look at those beautiful beaches. It looks like a nice warm day out there. I mean, beautiful weather. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Jeez.
As we're ticking down,
Barry Monkey, you're just trying to stir stuff up now. But yeah. I can, whatever, Vanguard one or whatever it was. I don't even know why I know that. Moving on from there. Seeing as I know we're not getting a House of Hardy raid after this or anything.
No, but I did want to just let people know that we are here at Busting Down our local establishment. We are sponsored by the great people at RogueEnergy.com, where you can use the promo code OLEPODS in that shopping cart to save yourself 10% off your order. Make sure to know that if you are a non-U.S. resident, you cannot buy the cans. They are only U.S. shippable. And make sure you get your hands on their very limited tiger blood flavor.
Sounds about right.
Didn't have that written down. That was all me, man. That was all me.
I love it. You're great.
But yeah. What else do we have on the docket tonight? And who are we going to raid after today? Just so the people are aware that we're going to raid and show them the same great support that they're showing us.
That is a good question. I was actually just in the midst of having a look into our list of potential raids to give out here today, Parrish. Looking at this here, maybe we'll try giving something to somebody new. I don't see why not. I'm looking on the list of people who follow because they obviously follow us, and we've done the favor in return to them. And I'm thinking maybe like a Mr. Curls or something like that might be a good one to give this one to, and help out somebody who's got a nice little modest start here to the day and could use some help from our good friends here that have been joining us in the chat as well too. Let's see if I can get this name. There we go.
Also want to give out a shout out that I know that we had the sub, but also that Random Ricker Review _RRR did follow us. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Appreciate that. Yeah.
We don't have any graphics yet for that stuff, but we do want to let everyone know that we do appreciate it. We do take notice. So thank you so much for all that. And yeah, if you haven't by now, please, if you have a chance, give us a like on the YouTube side of things to let us know that you do enjoy this content. Give us that follow that, subscribe if you can, and just like you have done tonight, and do it for a lot of other episodes that we do have on our OLE. If you can be active in that chat, that goes a long way. We appreciate that so much, and we appreciate the support and just that extra mile that you go for us, because it allows us to take that extra mile and go an extra mile for you as well. So thank you so much to everyone who has spent their time with us today here at Busting Out.
Yeah, you bet. In the meantime, and in between time, as a famous commentator once said, Mr. Parrish, where can the good, wonderful people find you as the week rolls on?
Well, on the socials, you can find me on the Twitter at Chris Parrish, Instagram at Chris.Parrish. You can also follow me on YouTube at Chris Parrish and at the Twitch at The Chris Parrish. You can also find me on Spotify, as right now I have a beautiful new interview done with, as we saw earlier in the comments, HWC Sports as a moment with Joshua Joseph. That you can now go and watch at any time. So go check that out. You can follow me on every Sunday here at Bussing Out at 12:15 Eastern, every Saturday with Wrestle Draft at 1 o'clock Eastern. And then you can also follow me every Monday for the Monday Night Raw Watch-Along.
Beautiful.
And for one time only, this Thursday, you can see me alongside with our beautiful host from last night's paper reviews, Astrid, as I will be subbing in for her while we make an impact on Thursday night.
Beautiful. That's going to be awesome. You can check out that ticker below. That is my socials right there for you guys. You can also check me out on the Video Bros Network or over at Prairie Pro Wrestling, where each and every Saturday, Papa Smokes and I drop a brand new pro wrestling match for you, absolutely free of charge. Speaking of Papa Smokes, we will be back Thursday night with Ring Respect Radio this Wednesday. Myself, Astrid, and Melball with a pre-recorded special for you guys for Mental Health Awareness Week. Then Friday, of course, myself and Astrid Pizarro dropping an all-new Killer Cuts, and back with you guys and our special guest, Bougie, next Sunday here. I am going to hit the raid button on Twitch. If you're joining us in the YouTube capacity, hang around for a little while, but give our good friend, Mr. Curls, a big a welcome over on the other side of things. Always like to help out people as much as we possibly can there, Parrish. But I think that at this point in time, that is about it for us until next Sunday, you guys. In the meantime, you've been busted.